I've always felt different. I've always seen things, but when I tried to express them as a child, I was always told to ignore it.
There were people that I didn't know that came to me and said, I had this message that I keep getting that I have to deliver to you.
All of a sudden, out of the shadows, a homeless man just jumped right in front of me. And he said, I'm a soul just like you.
I love it. I wanted to understand the universe and who and what we are and what are we doing here.
Well, we're all part of this amazing soul wave tapping into each other.
This was a major life changer.
You are a light. You have helped me a ton. Thank you.
You've given me the courage to live more from my soul.
Millions of people are awakening. So wake up with Michele Meiche. Be pleased to hear the best-selling authors and experts in the fields of cutting-edge self-help, personal growth, metaphysics, and spirituality. The soul path of awakening. Understand what living awake is.
Hey, everyone. Chat's still going round and round. Oh, good to connect with everyone. Hello, hello. If you're new to the podcast, hi, I'm Michele, and if you're new, it's great to have you here, and I hope you get some inside understanding and have a bit of fun with us. And those of you that have been traveling with me for a while, welcome back. It's good to connect with you. 347-539-5122 is the phone number, 347-539-5122. Press 1 on your keypad if you have a question, a comment, or you want a reading. So we're going to kind of be diving into that. I'm going to just open up a little bit with what we're going to be talking about. And then want to get your input, want to see what's going on with everyone and tune in for you. So we are in case you didn't notice, we're in a very transformative time right now. And these times are, if you're looking at through the astrological lens, they have to do with the outer planets or the transpersonal planets. So that means it's going beyond the personal, but it does affect the individual. So we always want to look at our individual chart, but we also want to look at what's happening in the collective. So as these outer planets are affecting us, which would be, to some degree, Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus. And, of course, Saturn is kind of in between. It's said that Saturn is in the bridge, and it's looked at like there's 2 rings of Saturn. And the first ring of Saturn has a lot to do with the mundane aspect of Earth and what we're doing here. But when you start passing through the second ring is the potential to get into more of the transpersonal aspects of Saturn as a building block on the Earth plane. So I've studied a lot of different types of astrology. Many of you know me as a psychic channel and a medium and hypnotherapist, numerologist, transpersonal psychologist. You know different things. But the astrology that I focus a lot on is the soul-centered, and looking also mostly at the soul's path, the soul's evolution through astrology, and then looking also at how it affects the trans mythology, how we're transforming the mythology that we have, because everything on the Earth plane is basically based on archetypal energy. Almost trained as a Jungian therapist and dream analyst through Jungian therapy and spiritual healing. So I'm bringing that lens in. And it's every so often we update our mythology. We update our archetypal energy or how we express. So if we look at the soul as the design or the matrix of who we are, in other words, if the all that is or God takes all these multiple forms in getting to know and experience and express itself as this energy of life itself, everything has a design or has a seed, right? Everything comes from some kind of design or matrix or seed, both energetically and then to manifest tangibly or in the denser physical reality. So these things have to be updated, and we can look through the lens, and I always believe that we have things like tarot, numerology, the I Ching, the tree of life. We have these navigational tools. We have these maps. We have these compasses. We have these GPS. But within the fabric of our being is the beginning of all of these energies, whether you even talk about it as like the spheres of creation, through the Kabbalah, through the notes, the sounds, because everything eventually really is just a vibrational or complex of vibrational frequencies and energies and wavelengths, right? And some are saying they're not wavelengths, they're more like flow points. So we have all these different ways of describing and navigating. So right now with the power that's being punched is for everyone to some degree to transform. That is the Great Awakening. And the unified field of consciousness is awakening to its next level of expression and experience. And we are not only a part of that, but we are also instituting this through imbibing or opening up to the higher vibrational frequency of the new emerging consciousness. And so we're shifting patterns that have been going on since the beginning of time here. So this is not just a small little thing. This is changing the nature of the species on the planet, and to embrace other species or the interconnectedness or the hybridness of the species that are here, what we may call more advanced beings that are here, because there are different tiers of the evolutionary process within what we call the human kind. So we're getting into or back into our galactic or starseed roots. So it's not by chance that astrology has taken off more. You know, that star system, that our planetary map back home to the unification. It doesn't mean we're going anywhere. I mean, you know, whether you cross over and you go back to your originating planet, or you go back into soul source or source of all that is, God, whatever you want to call it, it is connecting into the home within, the unified field of consciousness, recognizing that there's one source that the many come from. That's a metaphysical axiom. Out of the one comes the many, and from the many is the one, or from the one is the many, and out of the many is the one. And so our star roots connecting into that we are the cosmology. You know, I think Carl Sagan said it very well. We are of the earth, you know, and stars. We are of the same substance. And so it's getting back to that, to know that we are creator beings. And if you look at the aspects that are happening, especially, I do feel that Saturn in Pisces is a part of this, because Saturn in Pisces has a lot to do with connecting into the etheric aspect of our being. And Saturn's saying that this is a learning lesson and something that needs to be integrated, and there's a boundary there. If the more that we align to our spiritual nature and the spirit realm, that consciousness or spirit animates everything and everyone, we're going to do okay. You're going to do okay. Deviating from that and putting it on something that is lesser, and I don't mean in a judgment way, will cause difficulties. So here's the thing. We could love, and I love technology. You know, one of my license plates was Techie Mystic. I love technology. I love, you know, sound editing, audio editing. I just think technology can be amazing. But I'm also very aware that technology can never supersede consciousness, because consciousness creates the technology. It's through our consciousness. That's where invention and innovation comes from. So here's an example. Like, people have been, you know, I know there's been some, SBV Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, bank failure, and a lot of people have kind of been freaking out. I did check and see, but Patreon, Stripe is not affected. I did check and see, oh God, is some of my third-party apps going to be affected? But what we all have to remember is that there is something that supersedes the bank. There is something that supersedes the system. There is some supersedes money. As long as you're coming from that place and staying in that creator mode. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to freak out or people aren't going to have fear. It's just you don't want to live there right now especially, and you don't want to over-depend on structures that are clearly failing. And they've been being broken down because they're no longer serving, whether these structures are beliefs, mental, emotional mindsets, because that Saturn also has to do with structuring also of the mind. It's not just what is tangible. It's that whole what we went through with Saturn and Capricorn. And now we got Pluto in there, because you have to remember, people kind of forget. This is why I like to look at the occult aspect of astrology, or the esoteric aspect. Because if you don't, you can kind of get tripped up. Like you could say, well, Pluto is in Capricorn, and so it's all about corporations and the big banks and the institution. Yes, but you're going to be way ahead of the game if you think individually in your own life and what's going on with you, and then in the outer world collectively. But thought preceded that corporation. So you're ahead. If you're already changing your thoughts and adapting, you're going to be fine. You don't have to have a huge hit. And this is what I'm saying. So if we look at these navigational tools, it could be tarot even. Right now we're talking through the lens of astrology. If you don't look at it just as something that's happening that's going to disrupt things on a earth-based, tangible level, what we call the gross, denser body of reality, or the gross, denser body. If you look at it, this is also happening in the subtle energy. This is the same with vibrational medicine. So I'm going to ask you guys to apply vibrational medicine really to your life and what's happening in the world. It's possible to catch sickness or disease or anything in the subtle energy. You get an energy reading. I used to do this all the time with my clients when I was doing a lot of energy work. Sometimes we'd catch something etherically. This is coming in. You can change it. Or maybe they're sick or have some illness physically, but we can shift it etherically. So all these aspects are pushing us, requiring us to let these codes, literally these gene codes within us, and these key codes, these major imprinting within us, that we're forced to open. It's like a lot of sun on us forces the seed, the sun penetrating on the earth, on the soil, is forced open, forced to sprout. We're going to be forced to use foresight, to be more intuitive, be telepathic, to remote view, to trust our intuition. It's not going to make sense in the beginning, but that's the Saturn in Pisces. Do you believe? Do you have faith? The other day I had to make a call, and it ended up being a mix-up, and I kept hearing, I had to call the IRS, but there actually was thank God, it was just a mistake, and I thought, I better get up early, I got a call, and then I kept hearing 4 o'clock, don't call till 4. Well, the due diligence part of me, I called in the morning, nothing. It was like long lines to wait. And then I just let it go, because every time I would hear, I would tune in or meditate, and it said 4 o'clock. So I let it go, and I called at 4 o'clock. I got the most amazing person, probably one of the new hires, I don't know, amazing woman, shout out to Samantha, who said, there's been a mistake. Something's in the wrong name and Social Security number, and I'll take care of it, and I'll handle it, da-da-da-da. So I was like, oh, my God. And I thought, God, I keep getting these messages, and you guys probably are too. You're getting messages, and it doesn't make sense, because in the old world, it's like, well, you got to get up early, you got to do this, you got to do that. These are coming from these transformative energies through the planetary transits and alignments that are us. They are aspects of us. As above, as so below. We're just looking at it through the lens of astrology, so that Neptune in Pisces, and it's lovely kissing Saturn in Pisces, I call it, that interplay. Let's even talk about Chiron and Aries, healing the deeper wounds of the self. Aries has a lot to do with the self. It's the first go-around of Aries is very young, me, learning about the self and individuating. At the higher levels of Aries, as that archetypal energy, it's enjoying the self, because we didn't come here just to take care of people and like the old Piscean of martyrdom, self-sacrifice. We have to live the soul of the all that is, God, as us, through us. So this is the time now. People are going to be pushed, and some people are going to say, oh, that's selfish. But that is that Aquarian energy. That is that Uranian energy, and you've got it coupled with Saturn. So it's like saying you need to institute this way of being, everybody that's listening to this individually, so that there's a shift that happens, right? That quantum leap, that critical mass point is hit, so that this becomes more and more and more instituted. When you talk about Saturn, it's instituted in something. Something becomes an institution. That could be a belief or a thought. It doesn't have to always be something tangible. And, of course, the last degrees we've got with the critical degrees, or anuretic or critical degrees of Pluto and Capricorn, and then coming into, Aquarius, coming up here pretty quickly, I think in the next week or two, till I believe, does it come out June or July? I didn't look. It's all being lined up. We've got those critical degrees, and then we've got a taste of coming into more, because Pluto's about revolution, so coming more into our own inner evolution or revolution, our own inner revolt, our own inner transformation. But it can be done ahead of time. It doesn't have to come from something that's cataclysmic if you align to the energies. And a lot of the energy is about individuating, being okay coming front and center, whatever that means to you, with your individual soul expression, to have a soul experience that is released of the chains of victimology, martyrdom. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I didn't do this at this age. I did this. All of those constraints of having to follow kind of a rule book that was passed on, not just generationally, but on a societal level, on a humankind level, that is literally being ripped away or pulled away. Well, it's winding out, but it's going to be more and more as we get, especially into 2026 and 2027, the ripping is going to be happening, especially when we get into Saturn and Aries. You've got it with that Pluto in, Aquarius. That's, Saturn isn't. Yes, it does bring restriction in some ways, and I know that can be fearful. It can bring the areas that you need to think about or maybe be concerned about. It just brings boundaries so that you have a focal point. So it's always said if you do the due diligence in Saturn, then the next cycle around, when it ingresses into another sign, there's always the payoff. There's always the result, because Saturn deals in ultimately a result of some sort. Even though it can be about certain beliefs or routine or doing something differently in your life, you are going to see a payoff. You are going to see something. Usually positive, because it has to do with the earth. It wants to do what's most life-enhancing, and so it will kind of put you in a track that you could only focus on a few things in front of you. It's Saturn transits make us focus, make us choose. So you're going to see a lot of that in the outer world, in the collective, people having to discern, have spiritual discernment, having to choose, having to pare down, having to get to what's my real focus here. So this is the time of great transformation individually. There's this freeing up to live more of our truth and to live more as creator beings. It's all about the creativity, the soul expression, or you could call self-expression. And so you're going to have to find things to do, because in some way you're not going to be able to do a lot on the ego level. You're going to have to wait for the impulse, the directive of the higher self, of the soul or spirit or of God. You're going to have to wait. There's a timing. Like I had to wait to call this person, even though if I would talk to people, you got to get up early, which I did. I did get fairly. Actually, I didn't. I didn't call because I remembered I kept getting the message 4 o'clock, and I thought, nothing is going to happen until 4 o'clock. It's not. I just know, because I know my psychic ability and my guides or God, all of the above, tuning into. Also, what you're going to become very aware of, and that's going to, again, we're going to touch on this real quick, I'm going to just touch on this before I get to callers. That nodal axis, the nodes. Right now we have the North Node in Taurus, the South Node in Scorpio. So this has been bringing up a lot of wounding, a lot of stuff about our self-worth, being good enough with what we have, looking at our values beyond the surface. For some people, it's brought up even, deeper health issues or issues around vitality, because Scorpio ruled by Pluto has a lot to do with vitality, your power, your empowerment, your true power. And this is the one thing that Source or God, the all that is, through us, wants us all to know, is this is about taking back our own power, our own empowerment beyond the outer. So it's like power that it doesn't have to do with things. It's not how many things we have or how much things we have or what things we have or how much money or what we have or what kind of car. It's the intrinsic power or empowerment from being a spiritual being or an idea in the mind of God, channels of God, the whole damn creative energy of the universes, life itself. It's recognizing that and going, whoa, that changes the whole game here. That's, leveling and the playing field and changing the playing field. Now we're going to go, and I believe somebody can correct me, is it June or July? I think it's July. I might look here. We do have the nodal axis switch. Now the nodes, which are really like location points, they're not, they're not a planet, they're not an asteroid. It's really a compass, right? It's a navigational tool, and it shows where you're going individually, and when we look at the collective nodal shift, it shows where we're going as a collective. So we're going to have Libra on the South Node and Aries in the North Node. Now, a lot of people think, North Node is where you go, South Node is what you know, and you want to go away from that. No. Everything in nature, all of life is about homeostasis, is about balance, is about integration. So it's taking the South Node and integrating that energy, because you already know it, and implementing it or integrating it and harmonizing it with the newer energy of the North Node or newer direction. So I think it's very telling, and I said there's going to be major changes. I've always said this, people on my Patreon or other podcasts that I've done here and workshops, that the real stuff, fireworks, is going to happen with Pluto ingresses into Aquarius for that 20-year period. And, I mean, there's other aspects, but also that Saturn in Aries, and then we'll have that North Node in Aries. Libra South Node. So it's not about everybody's going to get selfish now. No, but the idea of the self as a soul, as the individuated aspect. Individuation is going to be huge on a personal level, on an inner child level, having to do with systems. We're going to finally look at family systems and group dynamics and go, people weren't allowed to individuate. This is why we have a lot of problems, a lot of issues. We have a lot of abuse. So for some people, it's going to happen on a very, very personal level, on a deeper healing. that they didn't get to individuate, they didn't get to be their true self, their individual self. And then on a soul level, on the next level, on the cosmology umbrella, if you will, it's individuating as souls, not just humans here, not the animal, just the animalistic nature, but the soul nature, the soul being, and harnessing. It's like the strength card in the tarot, harnessing the energy, learning how to harness our own energy and use it with a laser light focus. Again, just think of you all as lighthouses. So that's the energy of the soul. So realizing, wow, I have this ray of light, this beacon of light, this laser of light that I can point inward, I can point outward. This light I can manifest. This light I can heal. This light I can predict. It's harnessing the vibrational frequency of light is what's happening. That is Uranus. And trust me, I have Pluto on my sun and Uranus conjunct my Mercury, and my moon is in the 8th house. So I love this. I live with these energies. And it just excites me. I know we're going to go through, there's a lot of non-life enhancing, there's going to be hardship. There's a lot that's going to be going on. However, as long as we connect into our own vibrational frequency, our light, our God, our connection to God, source, the all that is, however you want to term it, the spiritual aspect of our being, as long as we start trusting that more, it's faith. It's fierce faith. Not in something outside of us, but the quantum aspect. You will feel yourself more and more within something, within the womb of Mother Nature, within the void, which is also the womb of the cosmos. And you will be able to get your multidimensional selves in alignment, other dimensional aspects of your being, other lifetimes right in the present, planetary experiences and understand in the present. Because the veils that, and this is something that Pluto does, Pluto and also, Uranus breaks the veils quickly. Pluto is slower acting, but now you've got Pluto in Aquarius with, and Pluto ruling Scorpio, and Aquarius being ruled by Uranus. That is like powerhouse. It's both depth, deep diving, and expansion at the same time. So if we can open ourselves up to that through our spiritual practice, through our spiritual understanding, one thing that helps me is I call it my kvetching. My friends know this. I let myself go there on kind of the lower level of the human existence and experience that we're meant to have here. But then I always try to get the metaphysical or the quantum of what's going on. Not doing a spiritual bypass, but understanding that what is actually going on big picture. And again, Neptune brings that in. Neptune is big picture. Pisces is big picture, but doesn't always see the big picture, more feels the big picture, because it wants to bring in the harmonization of those two polarities, one fish going one way, one going the other, right? It wants to merge with the cosmos. It wants to merge with the other. So you're going to be having experiences of both merging and extending out at the same time to deeply connect with another person or a group or, your soul tribe or your community, but then at the same time feeling the urge to go your own way and do it your own way. And I'm going to say, don't get caught up in your head about it. And that's, again, Saturn in Pisces, all about the feeling, the intuition, the sensing. Neptune in Pisces. And then how do we bring that into some kind of structure in our life now? How do we structure this in our life? You feel something's coming. You without being fanatic about it or going too much into fear, you prepare, or you pray, or you meditate, or you just simply ask yourself or God, however you want to term it, or your higher self, help me do this, or what do I do? So it really is getting out of the mold, the constructed ego, the constructed self. There's a deconstruction that's taking place individually, but also in the outer world, in the mainstream world, the mainstream consciousness. So there's going to be a lot of deconstructing while certain individuals are constructing, and then people are coming together with this new information, this new way of being. So yes, there's a lot of challenge. I talk about this on Patreon. I'm going to talk about it more in some upcoming videos to let people know exactly what's going on a 3D level. But I always like to bring in more of the metaphysical, that we get beyond just the physical or the tangible reality or the earth, so that we can see where we're going and why. Then it makes more sense, and we can serve the transformational process. We can serve the energy of the transformation that's coming through us as us. And we can see, where is it manifesting individually in your life? How are you being affected? How is the energy coming and working on you? You know, you're going to see many, many more people awakening and having, multiple, and I've said this all the time, multiple ways of expressing, multiple sources of income. You know, and I saw somebody post the other day, and they said, oh, yeah, because it's so expensive to live. Well, yes and no. Yes, that's part of it, but that's also a belief system, because the soul likes variety. The soul likes to do multiple things or create, whatever that is for a particular individual. And unfortunately, on this earth plane, we've only learned through pain. That's shifting. We haven't learned yet from inspiration. You know, we've learned by a lot of perspiration and pain and a negative impact. So, and most people that are very creative, they just start like a little kid, start something and enjoy it till, and then, maybe they leave it, maybe they do it for a long time, and they start something else or create and do multiple things. But we've been taught at a certain time in schooling, and definitely I know in college, you got to narrow it down. And so we've been taught you do one thing and then you can't do another. Or you take a career, you have a certain career or a certain job, that doesn't give me enough time for my hobbies or what I really love. Well, that's going to be changing. People are going to be not only feeling that urge to create more, but some it's going to be by need or necessity because of that, that the transformational aspect of wanting to bust free or having the need, Saturn, the need or the necessity, especially when we get, like I said, into Saturn in Aries. I think what's happening right now, like again, here's a tip: if you learn the Saturn lesson in whatever sign it's in whatever house it's in for you, then, like I said earlier, that when it ingresses in the next sign, it'll be easier for you. You'll have it. So here's Saturn in Pisces. What's that teaching us? Spirituality, go forth on your dreams, believe, faith. You might not be able to see all the dots or where it's leading, but you can see the dots, and you're being led somewhere. You might not be able to figure things out. You might not be able to use the lower part of your mercurial mind. But if you live this way, if you get this lesson now with Saturn in Pisces, by the time Saturn comes around into Aries, with structuring it within the self and your life, it'll be easy peasy for you. You'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I got this. I've been doing this. So everything is sequential in astrology. The lesson before, the experience before sets us up for the next thing. But isn't that all of life? We learn to crawl before we walk, and then we learn to walk before we run. So if you look at where you have been and what's been going on in your individual chart, as well as the, let's say the world chart, the collective energies, you can see where you're going and where you're being led. And it's like, well, we can't really resist. We can fight it. You can try to, but it's to some degree, the way that the manifestation of the energies happen is destiny. It's fate. It's meant to happen. You either learn to align to the energy, right? You align the personal or individual flow to the cosmic or universal flow, right? That's the Tao. There's a reason it's called the I Ching, the easy way. It's you align your individual flow, your individual energy to the universal energy. You tap into that. It's like getting the draft. Cyclists. One of my brothers is a cyclist, and he used to do this when he was competing, racing. They go on the freeway. Not in LA because we couldn't do it here, although I have heard some people have. But you get behind a big truck. On the bicycle, they get behind a big truck, and that draft carries them, so they don't have to keep pedaling, and they get up to 45, 50 miles an hour. So this is these aspects, Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces especially, are teaching us to get on the draft of the universe. The I Ching, the easy way. Get on the draft, the energetic draft, the subtle energy. Stop trying to beat your head against the wall and figure it out with the lower mind, because that's passé. That's not happening anymore. So everyone has to find out where's your entry point of the draft. Look at where you have Pisces in your chart. With Saturn transiting there, Neptune there, freeing up, look at where you have Aquarius. Look where the nodes are going to be hitting you, what house. There's more, but especially I want to look with the transformative. Look at where Neptune is, transiting Pluto, Uranus, and Saturn. What houses are being affected? Either by conjunction, opposition, or square. Square is going to bring action, a movement we need to do something, to resolve something. The opposition brings awareness and understanding, so that you, not the universe, not the people outside of you can bring balance to those two areas. And then a conjunction, that's a real pivot point. When you have something that conjuncts, that's going to bring some kind of change to that area. That area of your life will have some kind of change. And usually the transit before will have shown you what kind of change is coming up. Like I have it's transiting Saturn transiting my sixth house, and I already had been clearing things and changed my diet a bit and went back to doing my Pilates. So I already felt the energy before I even noticed it astrologically. And that will happen, because it's not just the astrology that's doing this. This is just a lens. Like I said, astrology is just a lens to look at all of this. It's just one of the lenses. So it's going with it instead of, I don't have time or fighting. Saturn said, make this my routine. I'm happy because, I have Neptune in Scorpio. The Saturn Pisces in the 6th is going to help me ground some of my dreams, my visions, my goals with my routine, especially with all the channeling and stuff that I do and working with people and ideas that I have. So I'm welcoming it as structure. So I'm working with that energy. So anyway, let's get to callers. I hope that gives you some kind of, insight. And I hope that the examples that I shared with you, the little examples, will you can look and go, I can do this, I can do that, and that makes sense, so that you can be proactive with this transformational energy. Really what it is a transmutation of energy, that energy is transmuting. That means there's a recalibration and requalifying of the energy. The calibration and quality of the energy is changing. And so we're getting less and less diluted soul source or source energies, God energies. We're getting less diluted. We're getting potent-sized. Those of you that are into homeopathy, you will understand this. The potency, we're getting more potent as beings on this dimension. We're opening up to more of our potency, which is our true power or empowerment. And that a lot also comes with the Pluto activation and Pluto and Aquarius. Because Aquarius, even though it is community and it is groups, It's factions. It also has to do with the individuals within the groups and the factions. It's about the individuation. It's about the soul, what makes you uniquely you. All right, Soul Lights, 347-539-5122 is the phone number. Let's get to the first caller. Hi, you're on air.
Yes, hello.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, my name is Susan.
Susan, hi, Susan. Welcome. What's your question?
Yes, I am actually wondering if you see a move to Florida being good for me.
Okay, let's see. Florida. Ooh, yeah. Really good.
Awesome.
Yes. I'm going to check it with my pendulum, too. Let's see. Oh, yeah, if you could see. When we do video, I'm going to show my pendulum. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Good.
Great.
All right, Susan. Good. Well, keep us posted on your move.
I sure will. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Hey, gang. Okay, Jacqueline, thanks for letting me know in the chat. No, I cannot get in. So maybe it is something with my browser because I've had BTR look at it. There are 3 of you. Okay, hi, guys. Okay, so I hope you can hear me, Jacqueline. Interesting. Okay, let's get to next caller. Oops. Hi, you're on air. Hello.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. This is Carla.
Hi, Carla. Welcome.
Thank you. I spoke to you a few weeks back. I have my home on the market, and you did see it selling, and I'm just wondering if it's going to happen soon. I did do a price reduction recently.
That's what I said.
So I'd love
yes.
for you to would love for you to check in.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I think people are going to start, there's a little delay. It may be more towards the end of this month, more people coming to look. I think, did I tell you like April, May? Did I tell you that before? I feel like I told you.
You
it wasn't right away. It was more.
And you said in the 20s, so I don't know. And the astrology says it should happen soon, and people are saying like hopefully by the end of the month they see it happening. So I would just
I see people coming and looking. I don't know about buying just yet, or I could be also just seeing it in escrow. But I'm going to say I'm going to say look for more people in the 20s, which is what, next week, right? In the 20s of March to start coming and looking. I'm going to say I would say for sure spring. Yeah, so you did the right thing with the reduction, and I do recall now I did see that you reduced the price. It would take, I think I did say springtime. So, yeah, I would just say, what I would say is a watch pot never boils. So what you want to do to draw people in, do everything you can right now electrically. Get, reach out, do what you need to do, and then pull your energy back away to create a vacuum.
Okay.
Right, because if we're overly focused on, if we're overly focused on something, it actually repels. So you need to create a bit of a vacuum right now. Re-listen to what I said about Saturn and Pisces. You got to go into the spirit realm that things are happening. You don't have to push so much, okay?
Right.
And then you're gonna see a difference happening, right?
Okay. I'm just eager. really, really want to move.
I know, but you got to do something else. You've done all that you can, right?
Yes, that's true. True. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
if you
so
do
much.
that, then that will greatly shift the energy.
Sounds good. I will work on that.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
You're so welcome. Thanks for calling in. Bye. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, my name is Lisa Marie, and I'm calling from Connecticut. Thank you for taking my call. Hi. I'm wondering, is there any goodness coming in for me at all?
Let's ask specific. What do you want to know about?
Well, I'm wondering if I need heart surgery. They're trying to figure that out, and I'm waiting on a court case to end for a dog bite to my face. Either one of those.
Okay. Okay. I'm not sure about the. You said you might have. Did you say? What did you say about the dog bite? A case or something? Surgery? I don't feel surgery. It could be. There could be some health things, but I feel like you could get a like a prescription or some things that you have to do.
Okay.
But I'm not.
But
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not getting. I don't know that you're going to have to do surgery. You may not. I'm not getting that. Huh?
That would be so good.
Yeah. I think they're going to give you some things to do to offset whatever's going on or to help it. But you're definitely, you're definitely, there's going to have to definitely be some changes. They may say if you do this, there's a high likelihood you won't have to have surgery. And so if you do it and then you come back, they'll be like, okay, this is, turned around. Yeah, because I see you back a few times checking back in. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to make you feel better. You're going to get things taken care of health-wise. That's going to make you feel better about other things that you need to do, And I would also say get out in nature however you can. Get outdoors a little bit, a little bit of moving around would be good. Grounding, but just movement. It doesn't, just short, even if it's 5-10 minutes, especially around.
Day on a treadmill.
No, that's not outdoors though. No.
I walk my dog as much as I can. I walk my dog as much as I can. I'm in New England.
Yeah. Okay. So I was going to say, okay, but even going in, if you have a car, going in and just getting air, you need to get out more. It's not about this exercise. It's a state of mind.
Okay.
So even with the dog, you have to break up your routine a little bit. And really what's good for you is either sea air. You want to get those negative ions. Either sea air is really good for you, or being around trees, really, really green trees. So
spring is coming.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Lisa Marie. Okay, keep us posted. Big hug.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Talk to you. Mm-hmm. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, Michelle. It's Lee.
Hi, Lee.
How are you?
You.
I was calling because I have court coming up on Monday, and was just kind of seeing what your tune-in would be.
Oof. Okay. Well, I'm losing my Astrology. Power struggles. That's your transformative energy of Pluto. There's a lot. It feels like it's going to be long. Let's see what's going on. Now, is this something you may have to? Do you testify in this? You have to talk, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, because you seem very confident, very kind of in your power and asserting your needs. So you're definitely going to be talking. There could be some kind of negotiation. What could be said is there could be one for sure, maybe two sticking points, that it's either going to be suggested that you either, if you don't come back, or a mediator. I feel like the judge says, this is something you could work on your own, or can't you work on this own, or the two attorneys get together and work on its own. So I feel like there's going to be some things to work through or figure out after Monday, is what I'm hearing.
Okay.
How's the court case going to go? Yeah, some stuff. Let's see. Something with the definitely with finance. You're going to feel good. I almost feel like the other party has to disclose something. In other words, if they either don't settle or whatever that is, whatever you're going through, they either don't settle or they don't make the agreement. In other words, I have to get that paper, I have to get this done, then, okay, can we do this outside of court? Or the two attorneys can handle that. Yes. If they don't do that, there's something else they're going to have to disclose that they don't want to. There's something else another avenue that's going to open up if they don't do this. So I do feel like something, let's see, how is it going to go? Yeah, there's just a couple sticking points, but I feel like all in all, you're going to feel like you have an upper hand. Something is going to come up that's going to give you maybe not total upper hand, a bit of an upper hand or leg up or an opening. In other words, if they push this or they don't complete this or, if they keep doing this, whatever it is, then I have this avenue. I have this pressure point I can push on. So you're going to get, let's see. Yeah. I do feel you're going to like the judge, whoever it is that's presiding. They seem to be fair and balanced. And they seem, whoever it is, I don't feel they want this going on, whether cost or time. I feel like they're like, okay, this is done or should be done. Or do you want to get those last documents and then come back? That's fine too. So I don't know. Something's going to be revealed. You're definitely going to have some, bargaining tool or chip, if that makes sense to you. There's something.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I could tell you by, there's limitations with the money, finance, externally. I would just be relaxed. It shows you in your power. Yeah. That's what I would say. All right, Lee?
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate you taking my call. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, Michelle. It's
Hello.
Haley.
Haley. Hello,
hey,
Haley.
Can you hear me?
This Haley from YouTube?
Well, I do watch your YouTube videos all the time. We've talked a few times.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought.
Too.
I could feel your energy because I pick up on my YouTubies.
Yay! Yeah. Before I say anything, I love the show. I think I put in the chat that I'm so glad that we have you full time, and I've been so interested in the astrology lately because it seems like there's so much going on. I'm just starting to kind of dabble in astrology.
Oh, good. I'm going to recommend a book then to everybody. I've recommended it before, but it's simple, but it's deep. It has not just the fluffy meanings. It's called Chart Interpretation Handbook.
Okay.
It's called Guidelines for Understanding the Essentials of the Birth Chart. So Chart Interpretation Handbook.
Perfect.
And the author is Stephen, Stephen,
okay.
Arroyo, Arroyo.
Okay, perfect. I'll definitely get that.
It's really good. And also his book, Astrology, Karma, and Transformation is good. I think he has a book on the nodes too. But it's like most beginning book. To me, this book, I wouldn't consider myself, I'd say an intermediate to advanced. I don't do all the research because I'm a psychic channel and a medium, so I see things even before the astrology sees it. So I'm not into the research, what happened in 1952, 1801, but so I mean there's I think astrology is a lifelong study. It's like tarot. You always can get more and more out of it. But for kind of basic to intermediate books, they're usually kind of fluffy. The meanings don't have the depth. he somehow kept it simple to understand. And he goes into also not just the meanings of the planets and certain signs, but what house and what the houses, what the houses basically mean. And the houses placement is really important because the houses represents areas of our life. So it's really important to understand the houses. I mean, even if people just understand their basic astrology chart in the houses, you'll be way ahead.
Yeah,
you know,
but there's so much depth. Yeah,
the houses show so much. If you know what something's being activated and how, what's the aspect or the transit that's coming through, or aspect that's there, you can know a lot.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you for that recommendation.
You're welcome. All right. So what's going on with you? What's your question?
So I have a potential job offer. It's not guaranteed yet, but seems pretty likely. That would require a move. I'm in Florida right now, and it would require a move to just basically the other side of Florida, the Gulf Coast.
Okay, I was going to say, I still see you in Florida.
Yeah, and it would be a significant increase in my salary with this job, even though it's not really a field that I would probably seek out on my own. But I'm just, I guess I just wonder if accepting this job and also moving would...
I don't see you want to. Now, what's going on? What do you really want to do? You don't want to. Don't do what you don't want.
Yeah. Right, that's kind of how I feel.
What's going on? You don't want... I mean, your energy is like, no. I think you want to do something else. There's something else you want to do, Haley. What is it?
I don't feel ready to move. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, but
find
it's
another way.
See, I feel okay. I'm hearing you, and I feel like more money will open up more freedom of choice and allow me to
Did you listen to my astrology talk?
I did.
Did you listen?
Yeah.
Find something another way. Well, it's you to you, because I can feel it in your energy pattern. You're getting a message.
Yeah.
See, and this is okay. I'm so glad you. If you hear me clanking, I'm making it decaf. Latte here. Okay, with coconut milk. Okay, everybody listen. This is, Haley, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is such a great question because this is Saturn and Pisces. We've been taught that if we do a certain thing, it's going to bring more money or more something, right? Like me with the call the other day. It's like, everybody, you got to get up early when you call the government, when you call for the passport, you got to get up early. Well, it's not just about me. It's also about that person on the other end of the phone and the whole energetics of my soul and what I'm bringing in and the energetics of that person and the energetics of the collective shift that's taking place. So I was meant to connect with that one person who caught the mistake. Maybe somebody else wouldn't have. So we've been taught if you do this because you're going to make more money. But also remember, moving costs money.
Yep.
So you got to figure that in.
And it'd be a higher cost of living area. Yeah.
See. So you're making more money, but you're going to be spending a chunk to move and spending more money in a higher cost. I feel for you, your higher self is saying there's other stuff that you want to do that can bring in more income. And that's what you need, and that's what you need to focus on. See, that's where I'm so glad. I hope everybody's really listening to this, because exactly what you're going through is what I was talking about. That's the Pluto in Aquarius. That's the Saturn in Pisces. That's the Neptune in Pisces, to dream again and to believe. We've been so trained, look at like multi-level marketing, and even to some degree, the old model of multi-level marketing has come to social media. It's going to lessen. We're going to have a different model, but it's all do this, 5 steps to this, or if you get up early in the morning and da-da-da-da, if you call, if you get more money, get the job, we've been taught this. And so we have to unprogram ourselves and tap back in to source energies and go, okay, what's the solution here? Because it's not going to come with these aspects, these transformative aspects. It's going to come from Mercury, the higher mind, but Uranus, it's going to come in a flash. So it may be where you're at. If you really open up and do I always like to say, thank you here. I like how I'm living. Everything's, affordable, whatever it is for you. Affordable. I like how I'm living. And I want to raise my income. And I want more income. So you'll either get an idea or another job. You'll manifest something. So this is all these transformative planetary aspects and the transits are pushing us individually and eventually as a collective to get out of the old box, to just step out of the box and get into the universal box. Get into okay, I'm aligned to source energies. I'm aligned to God. Infinite source energies, there's an idea somewhere in there. There's a solution. So we have to get out of the lower mind. This is going to teach everyone to get out of the lower mind of experience and and expression, of having to figure it out and strategize it. Not to say we're not going to have that, but that's going to be secondary. And that's what I feel you're going through right now. So for you, there are some things that you want to do. And you need to do that because those will either bring more money in or it'll make you feel better about where you're at and you'll magnetize or attract something that pays more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It just feels like an almost impossible road for me right now, but I know I need to also then do some what are my self-limiting beliefs and work through that kind of stuff. Right? That would be the self-limiting beliefs.
Yeah, but also, but you're coming, yes, it is that. So, and again, just acknowledge that because it's what we've been taught by parents, families, school, culture. We've been taught this. So it is that Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. You're not going to see it. It's like hiking, and it's cloudy or foggy, and somebody told you there's an amazing meadow. I actually had this happen one time, and I was hiking in Malibu, and there was just all this cloud cover, and it was red, and it was rainy, and it was just overcast, and we just kept going and going, and then we did come to this area where there was all these amazing wildflowers, yellow, bright, growing, but we couldn't see it before. My friend, one of my friends, we should go back because it's, it's probably not going to, this and that. It's this time of the year, blah, 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 blah. So we're not going to see totally how we're going to get where we're going, but we have to trust what our vision is and keep it kind of to the little breadcrumbs or the little openings that we have. I always call it follow the resonance. In fact, I'll do another Instagram post on that, follow the resonance. If we follow what brings us more energy, more flow, then we're going to be led to always what is most life-enhancing.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome. And also, if you want to work on the limiting beliefs, if you go to my website, you can get the MP3 5-step emotional clearing process. Talks about how the mind.
I love that one.
Oh, well, go back and do it.
Okay, yeah. Now it's time to read it.
Now's the time. I use my tools all the time. Projection, perception. When I'm caught in something, I'm like, go back. Come on, Michelle. Projection, perception. What's the projection? I know.
Yeah,
I'll use in my head.
On Spotify. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Does it have the talk and then the process? Does it have?
Maybe it's just the process. I might. Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. The recording, old school days they had the CD, but now it's just the MP3. It has the talk, how the mind works, how to shift the mind or change the mind, beliefs in the mind, and then the process. But yeah, now this is the time we all have to use our tools. It's like, I have negative thoughts, I have limiting thoughts, I'm afraid. I also have my transforming fear into creativity. I'm going to do my transforming fear into creativity and move that fear, use it positively. That's another MP3 that I have on my website, Transforming Fear into Creativity. Or you can get on Spotify, apparently. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, Haley.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
All right, thanks, Michelle.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, you're on air.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Hi, what's your first name?
My name is Carrie. I'm actually a first-time listener. I just came across your show today. I feel like Spirit must have led me here.
Yes, I love it. Love it.
I've been enjoying your show. I'm not sure. I actually have a question prepared, but I definitely have the energy that's been going on lately. I'm very, I'm sensitive to it myself. I practice Reiki and I do spiritual modalities such as that. But lately, my energy's been off balance. So,
Yeah. And what do you do?
Well, I do practice Reiki. It's something that I started to do to heal myself through a past relationship, and then also have become certified to do it for others now. And just lately, things have just been a little in flux, I guess you could say. So it's probably what led me here. I have a lot of loved ones in spirit, and I feel their energy around me a lot more right now. And just, some transitions that I'm going through in life. So I'm a Leo sun. I'm an Aries moon and a Libra rising. And I've been recently involved with a Taurus,
Libra rising.
I don't know if you're going to pick up anything on that.
What is it?
He's a Taurus. I said I'm not sure if you could pick up on anything regarding that.
Who is this? The Taurus?
Oh, a person that I've been involved with recently.
That you're interested in. Okay. Well, he's probably going through a lot of change. Inner change right now. Let's see. Libra rising. So you've got that Saturn and Pisces. Saturn's transiting the 6th house probably. Okay, Leo sun. So you're about to bust through with that. Pluto will be opposing your sun. Well, depending on what degrees, that would be what year. So let's see. You're in a major transformation. Wow, you're freeing up, Carrie. This is interesting. The only thing I would say, let's see, what's coming up for Mr. Taurus and Leo Sun Taurus? Get his energy. Ooh, looks good. Take it slowly, but it looks good. I feel like you guys could move. There could be a move. Maybe move together. Have you been talking about that kind of stuff?
Not really. He's definitely coming out of a relationship. Definitely a transition in his life too. I met him about 7 or 8 months ago in the summer. And it's just been like a slow process. But we, for some reason, we come back to one another. Not in a toxic way. I think I'm very well aware of that. But it's just that it's like some sort of and it's.
Here's what I get
bond,
because
like that. It's just a connection.
Here's what I get. Here's what I get. Let's see. Like I said a minute ago, I feel him going through a lot of transition, a lot of big changes in his life. You are too, but your changes are more instituted by you. You've already been starting it, and I definitely feel a big move around you, and I also feel a relationship. In a quick read, I don't know if it's him or not. If you guys keep coming back like this, it does look really good. But I feel like you're at a point where you just kind of want to jump off, though. You're like, let's go, let's do it. Not yet. You're positioning. Right. You're positioning, and I feel like there's something moving in your life where you're going to hit on something, and you're going to be like, okay, let's go. I want to do this. I mean, let's go. I'm saying that, euphemistically, metaphorically, not particularly to him. So if he can kind of get out of his, and I think he is little by little, licking his wounds, his wounding from the transition and change, because I do feel like there's big internal change going on with him. And as far as compatibility and the way you guys are doing it, it looks really good. It looks like You're doing your life. He's
I think
doing
I'm
his.
more direct. You know, he's very like non-confrontational.
Oh, maybe that's it. You're more direct.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a confrontation, just when you're direct. So, you know, I mean, it's a change,
yeah.
but it's
well,
just
maybe
more
that's
like
why I'm seeing you go, are we going to do this or let's do this? You're doing something big. I don't know what it is. You're going to make a big change, and it feels like it could involve the difference of where you live or what you're doing, lifestyle. And so it's like, hey, you're not going to say to him, do you want to do this? But that's going to be the implication, because you're going to be planning it and talking about it. So it's just going to be if he can get a little bit out of his stuckness. He has a little bit of stuckness, but I feel that's because of the well, unfortunately, that's you know? the lower that's the lower expression of Taurus, the fixity, you know, which that can be great sometimes, but it's great if you know you have that, and then you can consciously use it or not use it. So I feel like, you know, that's he's going to get. It's just, you know, the only thing is, I feel it can work. It's working now. It looks like it's a good relationship. It's just you're about to catapult or blow up, glow up, whatever. You're about to do something a little, he might term radical, and it's just, does he join in on it? Does he, you know, do you guys do this together?
You know, it's nothing that it's not like I want to define anything or whatnot, but it's just more or less like actions and words should align, you know, and then it's just setting my own boundaries around that, you know, and I think the right people that are meant to be in your life would accept that, and then, you know, maybe the people that don't accept it, if they don't, then they're not the right people for you. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you very much. That helps. I appreciate that.
Yeah, good.
It's been kind of throwing me off a little bit.
Just do you right now, because he has a lot. You've been more consciously going through your changes, and he has, you know, he's in a bunch of, you know, interchange. And again, I don't know the degrees, but Pluto going into Aquarius is going to be squaring his sun, and that can be a good thing if people have things lined up that they want to do. It can be a, you know, a testy thing, you know, very challenging if people don't have things lined up, or, you know, an idea at least. So, but I definitely do see, I would say with you, I do see you living with someone. Now, that could be marriage or whatever. I do see a close relationship, you know, committed relationship, and I do see a move.
Okay.
Showing changes in the household. So you move with someone, someone moves with you, you move to something. So whether it's him, if it's not him, someone else is coming in pretty quickly, because it is a destiny issue with you having this relationship and this lifestyle change. Yeah, definitely going to happen.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Carrie.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Much peace. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, you're on air.
Hey, Michelle. This is Jody.
Hi, Jody. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. I have a question for you. It's I had this really bizarre dream last night that I woke up to, and it's kind of one of those scary dreams. I felt like I was awake because I knew that I was laying in bed, and I have my bed positioned by my windows, and I could see an airplane floundering in the sky, like very close, way too close. And it was floundering and floundering. I thought, oh my God, it's going to crash. And then it moved over, and then it came back, and it just seemed so real. And I willed it away over to this empty lot that one of my friends owns, and it went down there. And then I woke up, and I was just scared. I was scared. It just frightened me because it seemed so real. because I pictured myself where I was laying. It's almost one of those things where you can see yourself laying there.
Yeah. So out of body. Well, a couple of things. Let's look at it first, kind of personal, individual, and then we'll, bump it up to the cosmic, so to speak, right? Like a portending of something. So first, I would say you're probably going to be directing something more in your life. You might feel like you're averting disaster, but it's not huge disaster. I feel like there's some changes that you're going to be decisions that are going to cause change. And so you're probably landing your vehicle or way of getting through life in a certain direction. Now, let me ask you, has there been anything in life lately that you're fearful or trepidation or uncertainty?
Yeah, I've been moving my money around. And I was forced to do some 401k things, and so I've been, and with all this bank stuff, I've been just moving things around. And it is giving me anxiety.
Yeah. So that's the navigation. Remember I said decisions where you're moving stuff, so you're moving money. So it is about the navigating. And so this is also to tell you that whatever you're doing, and also airplane, like a bird, is like also the cosmic or higher consciousness. So it also has to do with collective, because when we're on a plane, it's not just us by ourselves, there's other people. So it's probably a recognition that you're going through something on the collective, and that's probably what scares you. It scares all of us in a way, or has concern, like, oh my God, we're in the collective Earth ship here, Earth plane, whatever. We're on the literally Earth plane. It's called the Earth plane.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
Earth plane.
Yeah.
So it is to some degree, maybe we'll all be affected to some degree, but it doesn't have to be a lot. And again, like I said, I feel you're averting disaster by whatever you're doing. And I've been telling people for a while, for a few years now, and again, a lot of it on Patreon. I started to upload some stuff on YouTube, but I got censored there. But, to have multiple resources, and eventually our resources also have to do with people, our support team, right, the people around us. So, whatever you're doing, you're handling it. You're navigating through this situation on the Earth plane.
Well, and it's interesting because I feel like me being in the bed kind of thing, I feel like I was a witness to it, but like I had the power of my mind to make it not crash into my house.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? It just was and it makes what you're saying makes sense.
Well, not to crash in your mind. And think of the bed is where it's supposed to be the safe place. We rest, we renew, we rejuvenate, we do astral travels there, So just be in touch, a lot more with the astral plane, the astral part of you, the astral travels, the spirit realm, like I was talking about earlier with that Saturn and Pisces energy. That's going to greatly help you. Yeah.
Yeah, these dreams lately have just been wild and crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, everyone. I feel like
we're
clearing out we're clearing the astral, our own individual part of the astral plane, and the astral is the collective. And so there's all these memories, and that's what I touched on earlier in the podcast with the archetypal energy, where we have all this archetypal energy that we, it's kind of condensed energy that we need to sift through or get through, and it is portend, because I kept hearing with you averting disaster, so you're listening to your intuition and averting disaster, and then go back into that spirit realm, align, center, listen to your intuition and go back, center, do what
Yep.
That's the navigating through that Earth plane. Yeah, thanks you, Jody, for sharing that with us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks for taking my call on it. I appreciate the interpretation too. But it seems
you're
right.
very welcome. Yeah. Oh, good.
Okay.
Good. I'm glad it helped. All right. Bye.
Yep. Take care.
Take care. All right. If you have a question or a comment, please press 1 on your keypad. Let's see. Did I get this person? Hi. You're on air. Hello?
Oh, hi. Oh, we already talked.
Okay, we did. Okay, cool. Okay, 347-539-5122 is the phone number, and you have to press 1. Now, you might just be listening and hanging out. That's fine. Let's see. But if you had a question, a comment, or you wanted a reading, press 1 on your keypad. Hi, you're on air.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. Who's this?
Valerie. I've been on and off so far as the queue is concerned.
Okay. You've been on and off the phone waiting. A lot of times what people do is they just put it on hold and then they forget, and I'm like, hello, you're on air. I can hear people talking in the background, or at this grocery store. Just a minute, I'm at the checkout right now.
Yeah. I've been doing
all right,
some energy healing and taking different supplements, and I did get the blueberries you suggested I take.
Oh, good. Okay.
Eating those. Brazil nuts and things like that. And I have I just want to see if I'm on the right path so far as health is concerned, so as not to avoid any kind of health crisis.
Okay.
Try to make sure that doesn't happen.
Let's see. It's your highest crisis. So if you're on the right track. Valerie, health. Okay, you're on the right track, whatever you're doing. Let's see what's coming. Okay. Did you change your diet or something? It shows.
I did.
Okay, that was good. Where you're spending your time, what you're doing. There's a lot of deep transformative change that's happening. Let's see. It looks like positive change.
I hope so, because I'm trying to avert any kind of. Because the last time I spoke with you, you said something about the heart and lungs, and I thought, okay, well, let me start doing supplementation that has to do with the heart and arteries and lung health and things like that.
Are you walking or working? But I see you doing out of the house. You're doing. It looks good.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing.
Oh yeah. I do a lot of work outside the house. Around the house, I should say. Mm-hmm.
Around, but getting out, exercise, working out.
Well, the yard is a lot of exercise. I mean, I got a lot of stuff to cover.
Okay. Well, you still may want to walk or bike or something. Get forward motion, yoga, Pilates. I feel more aerobic with you, so probably cycling, exercise bike, whatever they call it, Peloton or whatever, or walk 10, 15 minutes, work up to about 20 minutes. That's going to greatly help you, the walking.
Okay. I will start
dance
that today.
Something. Yeah, that looks
I love
good.
To
Let's see. Okay, well, even dancing then. Put on some music, dance. Get some light weights, just a couple weights in the house. Okay, let's see. If you do that, how things going to go. Because I still see further transformation. Oh, yeah, that helps a lot.
Further transformation, what are you referring to?
Well, but it's still, there's one piece that's missing, so maybe that's it. One piece that's missing. I feel like if you get out, if you do something aerobically is what I'm hearing. That moves the blood around, the blood flow. Yeah, you get your heart rate up a little bit. That moves the blood around, the blood flow. It's good for circulation, brings more oxygen in. Oxygen is key.
Right. I was taking something to increase my nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, I think. Yeah.
But you need to move. It's not just ingesting supplements. You need old-fashioned movement.
I know.
That's what I'm hearing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that looks good.
But I wanted to make sure. Okay, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't headed for some kind of a health crisis in that area. Because when you said the heart and lungs, I was like, I wasn't thinking on that terms. Are the arteries And the heart doing okay?
No. It shows more just aerobic, and you were making dietary changes. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right,
okay.
Valerie. Great.
All right. Well,
thank
you. That eases my mind quite a bit. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, gang. 347-539-5122 is the phone number. If you have a question, comment. My chat isn't working. I heard people are in the chat, but I can't see you. So maybe you're able to listen via chat. Want to go over this again. Those of you, again, that know your chart, take a peek at what house is being affected. That's the area, area of your life. Look and see what area is being affected. And especially with that Saturn in Pisces, Pluto in Capricorn, late degrees, anaretic, and then it's going to move into Pluto and Uranus for a short period of time. And then it moves back into Cappy, retrogrades back into Cappy. I think until next year, right? Isn't that it? Tell me. Let's see. Just want to see who else. Yeah, Pluto. I love little Pluto. Pluto in Aquarius. I just can't wait. Pluto in Aquarius. It's great we have these tools, It really is. Ways of navigating. Let's see. Yeah, and then next year it moves in. That's what I thought. January 20th, 2024 to March 8th, time of Pisces, 2043. Wow. And Pluto in Pisces, August 31st, 2043. Yeah. I'm going to see a lot of, I think what people have to remember also, I just want to touch on this before we close, is always in everything in life, whether it's food, what we do, the tarot, astrology, has a lower harmonic or octave, a mid, and a high. So it has a lower vibration or lower harmonic, a lower way of expressing a mid and a higher. So one of the things you also are going to see with this influx, for sure, Uranus in Taurus, and Pluto in Aquarius, that's that energy there. You're going to see a lot of factions, people separating out, cults, us and them on the low vibration. It's also metaphysically harmony through conflict. So that idea of conflict of the group versus the individual, because the higher vibration of Aquarius is the individual rights within the group, but not at the expense of the individual. And ultimately, with Aquarius, if the group or groups that are created do not help, assist, support genuinely the individual, then they're dismantled. They're dissolved, or they're blown up. They're defunct. And so it is this idea of our individual or individuated aspect of being, but also the collective aspect of me. So you're going to see a lot of that playing out through individual rights, community rights, eventually more separation of certain cities, and states. I do see succession. I think I'm going to do it on Rumble. Maybe, Jacqueline, we can get together if you're still listening to help me with this. Because I had all these predictions, even the pandemic, all of that I predicted I had 4 days of visions between 2017 and 2018. And it really gave a big picture. Well, everything that came in the vision that I predicted has already come to pass. But some of it is still unfolding. And then some other visions and messages that I had from the oversouls, the spiritual hierarchy. starting in the mid-90s. So I posted it on Patreon, but again, I said I can't post it on YouTube, the videos, because it goes against the narrative that's trying to be given, even though a lot of what I predicted and was the information I received has already played out and been, confirmed and validated. It's already happened and is happening now. But one of the things that you're going to see is, a lot about innovation, invention, the idea also of what works better. So new supply chains. We have to remember that we are the change. Like Gandhi said, we're the people we've been waiting for. We're who we've been waiting for. We are the change agents. It's going to be through our innovations, inventions, new apps, new ways of connecting, new social media platforms, new ways of networking, new ways of having community and supporting each other. There will be, new types of food, and I'm not talking about, see, the problem is it's going to be both. It's going to be like heavy pharmaceutical, heavy perhaps, DMT, psychedelic, and healthy organic, natural, supplements, vitamins, nutrition, ultimately an augmentation, not just AI, but augmented reality, ways to help, us, on a health level or a medical level. So you're going to see a lot with medical devices, medicine, new ways of getting around, which I would say is like new ways of growing, manufacturing, distribution of food, education, huge changes in our medical system, our educational system, the idea of children, how to nurture them, how to support them, how to teach them, what is education. You're going to see huge changes with that. A lot more homeschooling and different community-based or charter schools. Our monetary system definitely is changing. The stock market, how we do that. Now, again, these changes are going to be over time, so it's not like something's going to happen and blows everything out. But looking for 3 to 5 sources of income or ways of living or ways of expressing so that you have some level of diversity. That's key with Aquarius, the diversity. The lower level is conformity. And I don't mean diversity that's pushed on people, like you have to hire this many this or this many that. It's just going to be people recognizing that diversity of people or diversity of ideas coming together. And it's also going to bring what I like, people, and I've said this all along, people that you would not normally hang out with or do business with, you will be. People that you'll have disagreements with, like I don't believe in that. But in the overall, the bigger picture, you are able to come together. And so that's also going to happen within ourselves, right? We're also going to have that within our own life, and that's why it's going to extend out into, the outer world, if you will, the mundane world, is this idea of, some people call it strange bedfellows, like I wouldn't normally be with that person, or, just because Aquarius has to do a lot with what's odd, because it's Uranus. It's what's odd, what doesn't seem to fit or go together, but then it does. We're going to find these meeting points, but they're based on the soul resonance. So these meeting points that we all come together on will be authentic, will be genuine. Like we will seriously be sitting down with people or doing business or working with people or collaborating or living with people or near people that we know certain things they don't believe in or don't agree with. And we don't agree or believe in what they're saying. But in the overall big picture, the overall arch, we have a unified mission that is bigger than the both of us. So not only does the Aquarius bring in the idea of diversity, but it brings in the idea of some form of purpose or mission that is bigger than the people involved. So the you, me, the we of things, the collective. that I can understand somebody might be, they might be less conscious, or let's say just narrow-minded. They might have narrow-mindedness or haven't studied something, or they might perceive me to be narrow-minded. But there is a unifying point that we can connect in for a bigger purpose, a mission, that we're looking ahead. We're looking at that we can't do this alone, and we have to be able to come together with people that seem very different from us or have different beliefs. Yeah, going to be a very powerful transmutation of energy for inner and outer transformation. All right, everyone, winding down now. If you didn't get your question answered or get a reading, I'll be here next week. Keep the number 347-539-5122. You press 1 on the keypad to get seen in the queue. Also, love for you, if you've been listening for a while, go give a 4 stars, 5 stars, whatever it is, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, thumbs up, give a review, positive review, a life-enhancing, life-confirming reviews only, please. And please, I'd love for you to come follow me on Instagram, and it's my name, Michele Meiche, on Instagram. Also, Soul Insights and Tarot on my YouTube channel, and also Awakenings with Michele Meiche podcast on YouTube. Subscribe there. We're getting really close to launching the video cast there, but there's a lot of the replays from the archives, so really good ones from months and years ago. Got some gems on there. And if you want to do a deeper dive with me, more of a personal, individual, you can always get, individual sessions. You can go to my website or go to info@soulplayground.life. That's fine. But also we have a great Soul Path community on Patreon. So you can connect with me there as well. And those part of the Patreon community, those of you that did the poll, I'll be looking at that soon. All in all, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I really, really love connecting with all of you, and it was just such an honor to connect with more people. Welcome to the newbies that are here. I hope you feel at home here. You can call this one of your homes to come and hang out with and chat and get support. And we're here every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. If you have guest suggestions, topic suggestions, or feedback for me, or something you want more of, less of, or you just want to comment or share your input, you can always email me at awakeningspodcast@gmail.com. All right, Soul Lights, as always, continue to shine your light, share your insights, and, of course, keep awake.
Awakenings broadcast every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Pacific Time. Archive shows available on iTunes. For continued awakened conversations and insights, join the Awakenings group on Facebook. And check out Michele's blog at soulplayground.com. And keep awake.